if both players are ready. Uh, yep, Mople, make sure it's level 18. And good luck. And countdown is 3, 2, 1. Tritris.
Your other commentator has arrived.
Welcome. Hello. We just started the first game, so you're here just in time.
All right. Do you mind screen sharing so that I can see it in real time?
Yeah, that might be a little annoying.
Also, I think
'cause I'm
on
doing
Twitch, your category is still on music.
Thank you for letting me know. I don't know
No
why
problem.
that didn't update. Watch from just the stream for the first game, and then
Yeah.
we can, I'll figure it out after that.
It is a little bit more delayed on my part, but I can at least give general discussion.
Yep. All right, so off to a good start. Both players still at 100%. Pretty clean builds. Also, hello, Nord.
Hello, friend.
Thank you for the follow, Lunacy. Little cleaning up just here and there. Overall, it's still pretty controlled, pretty casual, I would say. Neither player is really making too many mistakes. Seems like they're getting what they need at the right time. As I say that, Mople has some dependencies to fill in. Missed the ninja, but might be able to dig his way out of it, but he does have a little bit of work to do. Ezra, on the other hand, just as clean as ever. It is looking a little bit tense for Mople right now. Getting pretty high up there. This is going to be very challenging to get out of. I don't know if he's going to be able to. And he calls it there. That's going to be a top out, and game 1 to Ezra with a score of 137,000 to Mople's 77,000.
Yes, I am very delayed because Mople still hasn't topped out for me.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. I'll get that up and running here pretty soon.
All right, much appreciated.
That's game 1 to Ezra. Let me get the stream going for my guy. I don't know if you're going to be able to see both. Yeah, I don't think
We managed to make it work last time.
Yeah, because I was doing a different setup than I am now. You're going to be able to see one, but not the other.
Oh.
Because I've got it on 2 different monitors this time. So I will share you this one. There you go. So you'll be able to see one, but unfortunately not the other. All right.
Okay.
Good game for the first game. Now the second game. The code is F66EB8. Didn't update. Here we go. Sheesh. Ready? Okay. You want to give the countdown?
Right.
Both players are ready. So, countdown is 3, 2, 1. Tritris.
Okay, so I will be able to provide timely commentary for Ezra's screen, but not Mople's.
Correct. And right off the bat, Ezra does start off a little bit quicker, but not by too large of a margin. a little bit of early cleaning from Mople as he put a few holes in, but got pretty lucky with quite a few ninjas back to back to back and cleared it away really quickly. But because of that,
That was a nice phase with the red boomerang by Ezra there.
again, needing some cleaning on the side of Mople. It's looking kinda spooky right now, I'm not gonna lie. Let's see if he can dig his way out of it, but it's pretty early to find himself in this kind of trouble. But he may be able to get out of it. Just working his way down little by little by little.
Ezra's still managing to stay perfectly clean for the moment.
That is an interesting decision by Mople, and I think that is going to cause him to top out, and it will. Game 2 goes to Ezra after some unfortunate mistakes kind of compounded on each other from Mople, and it led to an early top out. Very unlucky, but good
If
game
Mople needs any
nonetheless.
time to sort of compose himself or get some more practice in, then that is always an option, by the way.
Also, absolutely true. So, Mople, if you would like to do so, you may. Just let me know. And we can delay game 3, or we can just hop right in. It is up to you.
It is worth noting that the following game very well could be the match for Ezra.
Also true. Yep, it is a best of 5, so this will be game 3. What do you mean, Mople? Do you want a little time? Do you want to take a little time? Yes or no? I would say yes, probably.
All right.
All right.
Just let us know when you're ready then.
Yep. Let's see if I can do a thing for you. I might be able to kind of trick this.
Triangles indeed.
Alright, I think I should be able to get this for you now. Let me do this. I think you can see
All right,
both.
I do see
Yeah?
both. Thank you. Okay, Mople appears to be ready. Let's get ready from Ezra as well, and then we can start.
Yep. So the new code is 787 EFC. Hello, Liam.
Ezra appears to be ready.
Yep. Let me bring these back up for you. Yep, there you go. You can see both of those, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So, countdown, if both players are ready, is 3, 2, 1, Tritris.
All right, Ezra gets a bit of an earlier start once again. Not by all that much, though. As this game begins, it's definitely something worth mentioning. I don't know if you already did before I got here, but since this is TMC and not just Ninja Circuit, that means that everyone participating is required to start on level 18, which, especially since the speed change, is a little bit brutal.
Absolutely, yeah. But it's been out for some time now, so both players should be at least relatively comfortable on the newer speeds. But it definitely still does play a factor because it's only been out
Absolutely.
for what, 2 months about?
Something like that, yeah.
Yep. So,
Looks like Mople's got a hole, just got it filled. Uh, Ezra maintaining 100%. That doesn't make a huge difference yet because it is so early into the game, though.
true enough, but it does put him a little behind on pace, and he does opt for double there instead of getting the Tritris. I don't believe he realized there was one triangle on the left that hadn't been filled in. So, a little mistake, but nothing he can't recover from at this point in the game.
Both players with clean board right now. Ezra leading by about 35,000. A little less than that now, since Mople got a Tritris. Ezra's got some uncomfortable board shape right now. Nothing that she can't deal with, but looks like it might cost some pace.
Talking about an uncomfortable board shape, Mople has a little bit of a hole that he needs to fill, but I think he's just going to ignore it for the time being and try to build above it, but it seems like it's almost spiraling out of control at the moment. He might be able to get this back on target, but or back on track rather. Again, it is going to take quite a large effort of digging to get out
Yeah,
of
I
this
think I
one.
could feel some panic setting in, which led to mistakes that wouldn't necessarily normally happen.
Yep.
That's unfortunate. And with that, Ezra takes the game and the match.
GG's to both players. Little bit of unlucky, poorly timed mistakes there from Mople, that just compounded in the worst way, to lead to the top outs kind of each time. And yeah, so a lack of practice will definitely do that to you, Mople. GG's nonetheless. Thanks for playing, and good luck next month. That's 3 games to Ezra, none to Mople.
And I believe our next match is Rachel versus Oruc.
I do believe that is correct. Yep.
All right. Let's just confirm that they are both live and that both of them are here then.
That? Here. Just went live. Should be ready
Alright.
soon. Rachel.
And I think I saw a notification that Oryx went live a little bit ago.
I do not see him at the moment, but oh, that's why. I'm fucking dumb. Lol. For some reason I had French on my tab. That makes a lot of sense.
Rachel practicing a bit on New 19.
Nope.
New 19 is not easy.
Very true. Very, very true. Better.
It's like oruc is doing the same thing, though.
Using this.
Tonight, I'll be eating a bison burger and a side of fries. Yeah.
You should be able to see both players now, yeah?
Yes.
Cool.
Ignoring the fact that oruc is showing an ad right now.
Yeah.
The cost of watching players who have affiliate on Twitch.
Yep.
Good for them, though. They've found success on the platform.
The smallest amount, but yes, success
More
nonetheless.
than me.
Yeah, you should be sorry. It's actually ridiculous. How dare you try to make money?
Maybe I'll forgive you someday.
I probably won't. This is something I can't let go. All right, both players.
Me neither, Rachel. SMH my head.
There is your code for game 1. Let me get rid of these.
You know, oruc, that would be cool.
Just
Since it is
$5 or
Pokemon emotes.
Twitch Prime.
Wish I had Prime.
Technically, you could do the same to me, if you want to.
True. But I couldn't do both.
True, not with Twitch Prime. Yeah, Prime Gaming. How dare you?
Prime Gaming.
Not called Prime anymore. Prime Gaming. Very important distinction. All right.
Okay, Rachel's ready.
And it looks like oruc is ready as well.
All right.
Let's get into the games. There's you. Okay, so game 1, countdown in 3, 2, 1. Tritris.
And oruc gets a start. Rachel hasn't quite yet, but should trust that will happen very soon. Delay is very different for different people. Okay, Rachel gets a start now.
Ooh.
That was a nice maneuver with the purple boomerang by oruc there.
Very true. But unfortunately, he's leaving holes in his build right now, so he's not getting Tritrises. He's getting...
Yes, but I choose to pay
doubles.
attention to the cool phases.
Fair enough. Very fair. Very fair. So he finally
oruc's
clears
getting
out
a
that hole.
center well Tritris there. Rachel staying clean.
Yeah, no, I got corrected. Instead of perfect pace, he decided to go the style points route and get a center well Tritris instead of ooh, good little double flip there from oruc.
That's
But
what was so impressive about the purple boomerang earlier.
this is looking very sketchy though, and I don't believe he's gonna be able to get out of that one.
A stylish
And-
way to go out, but still going out. It's unfortunate.
Very true. Just kind of perfect play from Rachel. Gives her game 1. So
Rachel
well
certainly
played.
does have a lot of experience with playing perfect for an extended period of time.
Yes, indeed. As you could probably tell by her practicing on level 19 before we even started. So very comfortable.
Okay,
at these
then we'll have to
speeds.
do the countdowns in chat then.
Yeah, we can do that. It's fine. So the new code is 5E938D.
I have to say, on the topic of being distracted by commentators, I haven't ever noticed that being the case with me, but there is also the fact that the one single time that I was kicked out of the stream that was reporting my match was also the one time that I maxed out in comp.
Wow. How about that? Can't be a coincidence, right?
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah. All right, so
I was scared.
because there is still a little bit of chat delay as well, I'm going to put the countdown in the TMC discussion in Discord if both of you are able to see that. Because that should have essentially no delay. So, if both of you are ready. Yep, countdown will be on Discord. Ready whenever. All right. So 3, 2, 1. Tritris. Let's see if that worked any better.
On my screen, Discord is blocking the.
Yep, sorry.
Don't worry.
And it does not look like it helped very much, almost at all. So, still an early start for oruc, but both players now starting up. But there is about a 12-second head start for oruc.
That was a good attempt at doing a rotated center well there. Oruc then did, after burning a single line, get a clean center well Tritris. Always beautiful to see.
Very true, very true. Gonna only get a double here, and he's gonna have to do some digging.
Yeah, he's got some inaccessible holes, now made accessible, but not easily.
Also, yeah, they're essentially inaccessible at the moment just because of the difficulty of reaching them.
Yeah.
But
With
clear
this,
out, and
it
decides
looks like
not
oruc
to
is
fill
electing-
him. Interesting.
Looks like he's electing to go for another center well Tritris.
Yeah, all about those style points, I guess. And he does get the very fancy center well Tritris. That's
Very good choice of making that more doable by first shifting the piece and then rotating it, by the way. That makes the execution a lot easier, but it's not exactly obvious to do.
true. Meanwhile, Rachel is just as expected at this point, just very clean, very safe, very standard build. Still no holes on her side. Both players actually playing pretty cleanly right now.
Yeah, oruc elected to take a burn to keep it that way, but still doing pretty good job with the board that he's got. Rachel's pretty uncomfortable with her board state right now, but will be able to significantly lower it.
Oh,
that was almost
didn't get the yellow pencil flip in there.
that
Which
would have been incredible.
it would have been very nice for her as well too, because it would have relieved a lot of pressure almost immediately. And
Looks
misses
like
misses a
these
spin
failed
there too.
phases are really starting to take a bit of a toll now on Rachel.
Yep, and at the moment the score sits at 140k for oruc, or 142k for oruc, to 152k for Rachel. But
And
Rachel
oruc's
is
board is a lot nicer right now.
very true. It's looking. Rachel may be able to dig out of this, but definitely has a lot of work to do. I'm intrigued to see the decision making that. This is just some world-class digging right now, on the side of Rachel. And on the side of oruc, it's just still pretty relaxed, kind of just surviving at the moment.
Looks
Not-
like Rachel electing to get a center wall Tritris. It didn't manage to get that shift with the razor. This is looking suddenly very dangerous again.
And especially with the miss on the cookie, leaving a overhang that is very difficult to overcome. It's actually doing really well to not just top out there, I'm not gonna lie, because that was a very dangerous situation.
Absolutely. Managed to pull through some very clutch maneuvers there.
Man. This is very sketchy. Clears it a little bit faster with the double there. Gonna get a single here to clear it.
Rachel's board right now is like the definition of terrifying but doable.
Yeah, exactly. It almost reminds me of a type B game setup, where
It sort of
very
is
doable
that right now. Yeah.
Handling it very well at the moment.
oruc, on the other hand, with a clean board and in the lead now for a little bit.
Yep. Missed quite a few missed phases from phase queen Rachel.
I can't decide if it's
moment.
lucky or unlucky that she seems to be missing so many of these when she is almost clean again.
I don't know, but it certainly seems very unlucky. But
It's unlucky
she's
that it's
almost
happening,
out of
but I
it.
think if there were a time that it had to happen, she's getting lucky on when it is.
Very true.
Speaking of, she is finally clean, and oruc is not.
No, but he should be able to get out of this relatively easily, unless he gets absolutely screwed by the pieces.
Score check. oruc is leading 260k to Rachel's 241k.
Nice little.
Rachel made an inaccessible hole there, unfortunately. oruc's got one of his own.
Oruc doing well to dig out of his own issues.
Both players.
Just like Rachel had done.
Rachel all the way clean now. oruc's almost all the way there.
And he
now
cleans
is.
it up very simply. And
oh, that's not fun to watch on Rachel's side there. That was
this is
Small
Very,
amount of very costly mistakes.
very scary situation for Rachel here. It is going to take an absolutely Herculean effort to get out of this one alive. But
I think she's got this as long as she doesn't make another mistake like that.
yeah, but that's a thing. She's been making quite a few phase mistakes this game.
The majority of them when she is almost clean again, though.
Yeah, but it only takes one when she's
Unfortunately,
not
yeah.
clean, and to ruin what could be a great clean.
She's playing it very smart right now, though. Taking pretty slow burns to get it all the way back down, just playing it safe the whole time. Oruc, on the other hand, extending his lead.
Yep.
Rachel continuing to take very intelligent burns there.
And has cleared out a path and makes an immediate mistake again. It is strange how it seems right as she's about to get clean, just makes one little mistake, and actually not a mistake at all. I'm a clown. She was
It was a
setting up,
mistake. She
setting
just
up
managed to rectify it beautifully.
by setting up for a left well tritris. That was very impressive work that I definitely
Rachel
would never been
just
able to do.
showing her reputation as one of the most intelligent stackers in the game.
And obviously very experienced, because I never even would have seen that, much less been able to successfully complete it.
And keep your composure while doing so.
Yeah.
Especially while the commentators are talking about, oh no, such a horrible mistake.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're not helping very much. Speaking of mistakes, Oruc makes one, and looks like it's going to be a bit of a struggle for him to get all the pieces to the left. He's doing a good job of it so far. And it does get easier as the board gets lower.
And great decision by him. That was interesting.
That's actually pretty good because it
Yeah.
opens up another potential line for the well.
Yep. Technically,
Rachel
he
with
could
a
get a
clean
tritris.
board.
No, not anymore. But he has cleaned it up and should be able to handle.
Both players clean for the first time in a while and very close together in score, only 5k apart.
Very impressive from both players right now. Both players at a little bit over 90 lines, both at 94 lines, which at level 18, especially on the new speeds, is very, very impressive, especially in a tournament environment.
This game is proving to be a bit of a suffer game, but both players are showing that they have more than enough skill to overcome that.
So far, yep, but...
And that is some of the most impressive play out there, is when things aren't going your way and you're still managing to make it work.
Gets a very nice broken well tritris from Oruc there. And despite quite a few early mistakes, both players are looking very clean right now.
That was a nice 180 on the Razor by Oruc there.
Yep. And we're definitely seeing a lot fewer phasing errors from Rachel on her side as well.
It's worth noting now that both players are past 100 lines and speed transitions at 130. So speed up is coming somewhat soon, and that can change the tone of a match very quickly when it happens.
Very true. Score check. Rachel is at 550k and Oruc is at 503k, with some cleaning to do. So He's gonna have to mount a comeback if he wants to win this game 2.
Some mistakes looking to be compounding for orucs, unfortunately.
Very true.
This is not a board I would want to play with.
Definitely not. And I think that'll be it. And it will. Game 2 goes to Rachel.
Oh, that is a good point. Ezra said in chat, I do believe that orucs is DAS only.
That would make sense why he was struggling to get some of the pieces over to the left, because it requires perfect DAS, and if you hesitate...
Oh, hybrid.
Hybrid. Interesting.
Interesting.
Congrats on making the transition.
That was a very entertaining game.
Absolutely.
A lot of back and forth, a lot of Monka-esque scenarios.
Speaking of Monka-esque scenarios, I do believe Rachel is going to try to play this out as high as she can go, which is absolutely her prerogative.
Or not.
Or not. As I say that, just completely blows me off and just says, nope, we're good. All right. Well, I would suggest to Rachel to save that game, because that was a masterclass on digging. Like, there were probably 4 incredibly high-level digs that she pulled off in that game that I think are worth keeping around.
A lot of that stuff is just the type of decisions that when I watch it, I'm like, oh, that's definitely what you should go for. But when I'm playing it, it's a lot harder to think ahead that much.
Oh, absolutely. And the higher the board gets, the less time you have to make those decisions. So they pretty much have to be instantaneous, even more than they already are. All right, so oof.
That is a good point by Rachel.
Yeah, it'll be saved here, but I always like having the file so I can go back when I'm feeling rough.
Yeah, me
and
too.
watch it on like 3 times speed just to watch it real quick.
I think you can change the speed on the replay files and
You can.
video.
Well, you can set it to 2 times speed on YouTube, but that's it. You can set it to a lot higher with the replay. All right, so game 3. Oh, that's rough, oruc. That is rough. For YouTube viewers, oruc was trying to screen peek to see what score he needed, which is
And he was using a mobile device to do so, and apparently it fell on his keyboard.
Yep, while playing, which clearly caused some issues.
That was only like 20 or 30 lines in. Oh,
it's fine.
That's better than toward the end of the game when you already have a nasty board.
Yeah.
At least.
Very true. All right, so both players have the new code. So, oruc, I would say when I get to Tritris, count to 8 before starting, okay? Like on your own side, so that Rachel is much closer to where you are. So you can just watch the stream, and if both players are ready, I will give you a countdown. Okay. 3, 2, 1, Tritris.
This is potentially going to be the match for Rachel.
And like the first 3 games, oruc does get a little bit of a head start, but because
much less so this time.
Because he hesitated a little bit
Yes.
before starting. So Glad we figured that out. It could be a little bit more, but at the moment it's fine. Ooh,
That was a nice 180 there
that was
by oruc.
Yeah, that was sick. Keeping the board clean and getting a triturst because of it. That was very cool.
That's one that I would have seen while playing, but definitely not would have gone for.
Yeah.
Just because I wouldn't have trusted myself.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And a little bit of misdrops from oruc here. Realistically should be able to dig out of this, but being a DAS player, getting up around this height is very scary for the left.
Oh,
And
this is rough.
And I
He was
think he's
taking a
going to
roof
call
burn
it there.
approach, but he just didn't get the pieces that he needed.
And he called it there after just a single triturst. That is very unfortunate. Just a couple painful misdrops, most notably that yellow pencil.
Rachel does have the win, for the record, but she is absolutely free to play this game in its entirety if she wants.
Yup. Yeah, that's... After both players making it over 100 lines in Game 2, to have a super early top out like that in Game 3 is just very unlucky. But GG's to both players. And now we move on to the finals. Go to you.
Do you have any plans to try and participate in the next TMC, by the way?
Very maybe is what I would say to that.
I personally am aiming for it. I think that I might be able to get enough practice in that I could feel decently okay with the level of my play by the time that the next one comes in. Thank you for the raid, Orucs.
Yep. Thank you very much for the raid. GG's.
I agree, participate. We need more people playing. Everyone should play this game. Everyone.
Everyone? Every single person? Every person to ever exist?
It does not matter how good you are. You'll still have an opportunity to compete because the bracket is not full.
No worries, Rachel. It's totally fine. Yeah, no, I was planning on like I saw the quals going on, or the qualification thing, and I was planning on doing it, but I just didn't in time.
That was also me the previous month because I was actually trying to set apart a time to do it, and then I forgot to do it, which will not happen this time.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I was going to like make a time specifically for it, but I just never actually got around to doing that. So
I should probably just do it like tomorrow or something so that like I don't even cut it close.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
This game is very fun to play. Even if you're losing in a competition, it's still fun. In my opinion.
Oh, it absolutely is. I think every good game is fun even when you lose. Also, I feel like a game like this, when you kind of think about it, there's really no winning. Like if you're playing to win, like I think you're kind of playing for the wrong reasons.
Well, I think that's a bit of a gray area since that is technically the objective to playing in a competition, and there are certain strategies that are much smarter to employ when just going to
Oh, in a
beat someone
competition,
else in one game versus
yeah,
just get a high score.
in a competition, absolutely. I'm saying the game, like, by itself, like when you're
Oh, the
playing
game
just
by
by
itself,
yourself.
you play against yourself
Yeah,
essentially.
like there's really no real winning, because even if you beat your own high score, like, that's an objective, absolutely, but it's not like a win condition. You don't actually win the game.
Well,
And
technically, there could be a win condition of crash the game by doing so well,
okay,
but
yeah,
that's
but any
humanly impossible.
yeah, like,
It's
and
it's
even then,
barely humanly possible for NES Tetris, and the numbers go way higher before they break on this game.
and even then, like, that's just like an ultimate goal. That's still not really a win condition. Kind of the reason why people play this game is to improve.
Yeah,
Yeah, forever second place, basically. Like you can't actually win. You can only get better. So, like, and I think that's why it's
Hello,
fun, even
friend.
when you lose.
I
Thank you for
enjoyed
the follow,
the
Oruc, by
short
the way.
period of time when I played a little bit more specifically to climb the leaderboards. Uh, but that was more just because it gave me an excuse to play the alternate categories.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so if both players are ready,
That's a good enough reason, Oryx. Oryx says that he only plays so that the bracket has at least 4 people in it.
that's a very high quality reason as well. So the seed is 5D7C62. All right, so let me make sure one thing. We're
Now,
good
this, the
there.
final match of the competition, is sure to be very exciting. It almost always is.
Very true.
Every game of it.
And it's the
Just
same
because it's
same
such
as
high
last
level
month.
play with, you could call it high stakes because it is only once a month.
Yep. All right, both players ready? Here's the countdown in 3, 2, 1. Tritris.
Go, 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 go.
Little bit of a wait.
Now Ezra's
And
going. And starting with the purple boomerang to the right, I've actually noticed that she seems to do that a lot.
that is an interesting habit, to say the least.
I mean, it's a pretty safe setup for a relatively simple Tritris, just with a rotation at the very end, which you can buffer with all the other lines that you formed in the meantime.
Yeah, it's very safe, but it is still an interesting habit.
Yeah. It's one that, oddly enough, I find myself doing more on higher speeds, even though it's harder to execute.
Nice Razor 180 from Rachel.
Ezra with a very
Ooh.
uncomfortable but still clean, by some definitions, board. Not anymore, but that was very interesting setup that she had going for a bit there. Now it's actually dangerous.
And on the other side, Rachel got a very interesting double rotation Tritris.
Somehow she's managing to keep the 100%.
Ooh, very dangerous situation for Rachel here, actually.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Should be able to dig it back down a little bit to give her some breathing room, but this is definitely a scary situation, but if her round 1 was any indication, she knows how to dig. So
Yeah. And that said, Ezra is actually, at least mathematically speaking, kind of close to fixing everything on her board. A little bit further away now with that unfortunate mistaken phase. But still a relatively dense board, which should come down slowly, but should come down.
but it seems like just a culmination of repeated mistakes.
Yeah, and she tops out.
And
Rachel takes the win for game 1.
Rachel takes the win despite having a very scary situation mid-game.
That certainly applied to both players, and it looked like both of them were going to step out of it.
Until they didn't. Oh.
Well, Rachel did.
Well, not quite just yet. Technically,
Yeah, it's still not good, but it's not terrifying anymore.
Very true, very true. Alright, so, can you take a quick warm-up? Yeah, that's totally fine. Totally fine.
Oh, and Rachel almost got a left well alternating Tritress there. That would have been very impressive.
Refresh this.
I agree, oruc. The Razor double is very swag.
So swag, in fact, that I have never gotten one.
Really?
Yep.
If you set out specifically to make it happen, it's not actually that hard to make happen.
I believe it. I just haven't really specifically set out to make it happen, so.
Neither have I, but it has happened a couple of times for me when I was panicking and managed to make it work anyway.
That is totally fair. Actually, that's a lie. I definitely have gotten a few. Thinking about it now, I definitely have. But I've never noticed it. Like, in the moment, I guess. I don't know. Like, I almost never think about when I don't get Tritresses. Like, I pretty much solely focus on whether or not one of my clears is a Tritress or not.
That sounds like a pretty smart decision, Rachel. I mean, if you feel like you're not consistent at certain inputs on the day, then at least in competition, it's better to try to avoid a situation where you need them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of those strategies that you were talking about when playing in competition, to just know what you should or shouldn't go for. And that can change day to day.
Absolutely.
And very frequently does as well. Sometimes your fingers just don't have the timings.
Sometimes your fingers just don't.
True. Sometimes your fingers just don't. So you can keep warming up a little bit, Ezra, but I'm going to put the Game 2 code in the chat, so whenever you're ready, you can put that in. You can continue to warm up, it's totally fine.
Unless you feel confident that you are ready right now.
Mm-hmm. Weird alternation you really wanted to get. Yeah, no.
That happens.
I think I remember seeing that. You think it'll be fun? All right. So, the code for game 2 is 7393F0.
But yeah, it certainly happens sometimes that, like, when you're coming off of a big dig and you're almost done with it, you feel confident again, but sometimes that confidence can be a little bad for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even an 8 to 9 hertz tap is good is better than DAS when you don't have DAS charged. So that's still a pretty good thing to have, oruc.
Yeah, I can definitely tell some days. That's another one of those things where it's like sometimes you can build higher just because you can tap faster on that day.
For me, it was exclusively a better option to tap as soon as I could hit like a consistent 9 hertz tap. Just because I wasn't that good at maintaining DAS and I benefited a lot more from very split decisions.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the same way, but I didn't even think about how fast I was tapping. I just kind of forced myself to
Yeah.
tap fast enough when I moved up to level 18 speeds. Anyway, both players are ready. So, for the countdown, 3, 2, 1, Tritris. Sorry for a little
And
bit
off
of
we are
delay
about to
there.
go with game 2 of the finals. Rachel is leading 1-0 at the moment. Ezra gets an earlier start. Rachel follows suit.
And there's about a 8-second difference between the two, so not that drastic.
Learning rolling specifically for Tritris, oh, that'll be dangerous.
Yeah, I feel like with my keyboard, I've got a very small keyboard. I feel like I could actually learn rolling on it.
I still have plans as
Ooh.
half a meme to set up my Guitar Hero controller for Tritris.
And while we're chatting about this, it's getting a little bit scary for Ezra, but
With a very high board, but still
gets out of
not beyond handling.
Gets out of it very well, like very competently.
That was that strategy we mentioned last time about keeping holes open in row 9, just because they're a lot easier to fill in with ninjas whenever.
Yeah. And
in the meantime, Rachel's board isn't looking fantastic right now, but she is on her way to bringing it down.
Ooh, that would have been sick. Ezra tried to get a flip slide with a razor, and it just didn't quite work out. So she's got a little bit of digging to do now.
Those were some very clutch choices with the ninjas there by Ezra. That could have made the difference between her surviving and not just then.
Very true. And it looks like Rachel has gotten out of her scary situation for the moment.
Ezra is getting... Well, actually, she technically is clean right now, although the well is uncomfortable.
Oh, that was so nice.
And
not
she
only
gets
did she get the
Tritris.
Not only that, but cleaned it up immediately to be Tritris ready right off the bat. So that was very impressive decision making to get that split, or to get that broken.
Both players showing off a ridiculous level of skill this game.
Very true. I've always found digging to be the most impressive skill in Tetris and Tritris.
It is one of, if not the most challenging to learn. I will definitely say that.
It's just so much experience, and you need to stay so calm and just make the right decisions. Like, you can't panic at all, otherwise you're almost doomed, like, immediately.
A bit of a score update. Ezra is leading over Rachel 224k to 167k at the moment.
And that is, in effect, because of the early... Ooh!
Oh, that is
rough. That's rough.
That hurts.
Uh,
Oh, so does that.
yeah, this is a very unfortunate board on the side of Rachel at the moment, but so
Looks
far
like she is
handling
collecting
it.
herself, though.
So far handling it really, really well. That's an interesting placement of the razor.
That was a very smart decision to keep the well open so that she could fill it up to continue her dig once she got that low.
True. In the meantime, on the side of Ezra, not
Now inaccessible holes that weren't just now.
interesting. Is gonna go for the. Oh, didn't quite get it. Tried to get the double.
Oh, that was a beautiful face with the purple boomerang by Ezra there.
And gets the center well tritris as well.
Both players' boards are very busy right now.
Very true, but of the two, Ezra is definitely in a much safer
Whoa.
position.
Oh my god, that was incredible by Rachel there. That was
Yeah.
so beyond clutch to
There's
fill in those holes there. Like, I can't even put that into words.
there's a lot of that going on Rachel's side of the screen. Man, the decision, oh man. I can't actually believe that she's almost out of this. Not only this quickly, but also this optimally. It seems like every opportunity for a double instead of a single burn, she's taking.
Yeah.
And it's incredibly impressive at the moment. And she goes for the ooh. I saw that setup. Oh man.
And she gets it.
That's just very, very nice and satisfying and awesome and cool.
And she's continuing with it too.
Yep.
And in so doing, is cleanly transitioning to a more conventional well.
Somehow, yep. That is really just incredible work. Man, that's just very, very good. Very
You could
good.
find that solution in a textbook.
Literally, like, if you search, man, I can't put into words how impressive that clean was.
That is genuinely one of the
Ooh.
best I've ever seen.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Also,
And I've seen a lot of Rachel's gameplay too. That was some of the best that she has ever done, in my opinion.
I can't say that because, well, it's definitely the best I've ever seen her do because I'm not very familiar with her gameplay from a spectator standpoint. But, like, it's very impressive nonetheless.
Yeah.
So, but
Back
because
to
of that,
a score update,
yeah.
though. Despite that incredible play, Rachel is still trailing now by 90,000-ish.
A little bit more than that. Or a little bit less than that, my bad. No, I was right. A little bit more than that now. Just
It depends
like
on who's gotten the most recent tritris.
Yep. But like we mentioned at the start, Rachel is also a little bit behind, about 9 seconds behind.
That definitely does not do enough to make up for the pace difference, though.
Oh, absolutely not. But
Ezra is at 72% to Rachel's 55.
Ooh, that was cool.
That was cool.
Ezra got, I don't even know what it was, but it was sick.
Clapping back.
Just both players absolutely refusing to be bothered by some very tricky situations that have come up in this game.
even though the pace is not particularly nutty by either player right now, this is one of the most impressive games I have ever seen.
Oh, absolutely. And I feel like that's how it always works. Like, perfection is, like, everybody can play when the board is perfect. But
Yeah.
truly good players show up when the board is not perfect. Speaking
When the
of
board
a not
looks
perfect,
like Rachel's right now.
yeah. Speaking of a not perfect board, look no further than the right side of your screen.
This is stressful to watch.
It really is, but it is also like so impressive. This is the 5th or so situation where it has looked to my eyes as an uncleanable dig.
It's looked very, very close to that for me, and I pride myself on finding solutions to stuff like this, even if they are very slow and inefficient. And Rachel just manages, and Ezra, they both just managed to find ridiculously efficient solutions to ridiculously difficult problems.
Yeah, absolutely. And very interesting piece placement from Ezra right now as well, with some very cool decision making that I think is fairly unconventional.
A lot of the stuff in this game right now.
That
Oh no.
is very dangerous. That's very, very, very dangerous. And
I think that might be.
that's gonna be it. So,
but Rachel is now in a chase down. She needs to beat 677,789 points. So
yep,
go for 678.
So about 130,000 behind the score required to win, but has an incredibly clean board at the moment. So, barring any massive mistakes that we've seen her magically come back from repeatedly today, it's looking like she's got a pretty good chance to take game number 2. But she still has to do
up
it.
On 19, so that's a taller order than it might sound.
Very true. But at the same time, sorry, completely lost my train of thought.
That's fine. That's fine. Rachel's board, not exactly comfortable, but still technically clean.
Yep. And just like that, back to being comfortable as well as clean.
Well, mostly comfortable. Now, maybe not so much.
Anymore.
Still getting a Tritrus out of it, though.
Only needs 2 more Tritruses to take the win, I think. If I'm doing the math correct. But the board is not clean. So... But...
Yeah. This is going to take a bit of survival. It looks like it's going to take some 19 play.
Yeah, because I don't believe singles or doubles will give her enough.
Oh, they definitely won't before it gets into 19.
Yeah.
She is doing a good job of cleaning up, though. It looks like her strategy right now is just to make sure to take the board all the way down to the ground before she gets into 19.
Yep, which is definitely the safest way to play at the moment, because she knows she's in a chase down situation. So as long as she doesn't top out, she should be able to get the win.
Playing very smart there, taking a single to take it to 129 lines so that she can get the absolute maximum that she possibly can out of 19 when she gets there.
And 1 Tritrus at this speed will give the win, but right off the bat, very, very unsafe.
Oh,
it's gonna take some digging. It's gonna take some digging or some lines. Uh-oh.
That hole is so painful for being inaccessible. I don't think this is gonna happen.
It's not going to. What a
Oh, that
game.
was close.
What a game. That was incredibly close. Great job to both players.
That was a difference of 9,000.
9,000. Yeah. Man. Very, very impressive. That. Sheesh. Man, I'm
What a game.
flabbergasted. I'm flabbergasted.
And with this, the match is now tied 1-1.
Yep.
This is the epitome of close.
So, game 3, the code will be 273FBE. So, put it in chat. Again,
Once again, something worth noting, I'm not entirely aware of all the practice that Ezra has been doing. Looks like she needs a break, speaking of.
Oh, absolutely.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. I don't know exactly what Ezra has been doing to practice for the last while, but I am aware that Rachel in particular has been doing a lot of practice on consistency from new 18 starts. And she has been going for at least getting to level 19 once a day for quite a while now. And it seems to be working out for her pretty well.
True. I did not know that, so that's some good behind-the-scenes information. A little bit of screaming from Rachel there in the seed. I totally understand after that game. Very intense.
Certainly was.
Just fell the slightest bit short.
14-day streak on that. Yeah, that's really good. For anyone watching on YouTube, that's referring to the consecutive days reaching 19 on NES speeds. This is proving to be a very entertaining final match.
And very, very, very close. Like, the margins of error are absolutely razor thin right now.
Yeah. I mean, both players certainly are making errors, but they are not making them when they count.
Yeah, and that's the important part. The difference between making an error at the bottom versus making an error at the top when you're trying to clean. Because...
And what makes that so much more astounding is that it is so much easier to make a mistake when it counts than when it doesn't.
Exactly. Which is very interesting. Like you pointed out in the game, in the semifinals, it does seem like a lot of Rachel's mistakes are coming at the bottom, not at the top, which seems counterintuitive.
I think that's it's intuitive to me because I have a lot of experience of choking with really any difficult thing that I've gone for when my brain sort of half shuts off and I'm thinking ahead.
Yeah, when you know it's safe to make a mistake, you kind of are more likely to make a mistake just because you're not so guarded against it.
Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of times you kind of have to commit yourself to that because if you're paying full attention at all times, then your brain can get very fatigued when it does count.
Yeah. Very true. Very, very
So
true.
it's not as if that's just an outright mistake to approach the game in that way. It's a little bit more complicated than that. And by the way, if any viewers or feel like they are missing out on some knowledge or some terminology that we are using, you are free to ask what the hell we're talking about at any time.
Very true. Also, if you want to know the names of the pieces, you can go to here and go to how to play. I believe you can actually see that on my. So you go over to here to how to play, and that will tell you everything you need to know about the game. Put that. That's so unlucky.
What is Tritris? Triangle, stack, win, pog.
That's accurate.
I know what I'm talking about.
Giga brain. Oh, unlucky. Didn't keep track. All right. So
I believe on your stream on Ezra's side, that is actually you playing right now.
not anymore.
Just now it was. Okay.
Yeah, no, I turned my own off. All right. So, after a very exciting game number 2, and after a little bit of a break, both players, well, Rachel, are you ready to go? Ready to go? Also ready. Wonderful. So, Ezra, if you wouldn't mind, after I say Tritris, please count to 8 before starting. And here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, Tritris.
We love that sportsmanship. Both players saying good luck to each other, which we should have also said to them. Good luck.
Good luck. Yeah, very, very, very important. Luck plays not that big of a role, and they start almost exactly on time. It's perfect.
That is what we want.
That's what we like to see. That's a beautiful thing. All right. Game 3. Here we go.
All right, as almost always, both players start the game with very divergent stacks.
True.
Both very clean, though.
So far, but it does seem a little awkward on both sides, just right off the bat. It seemed like an awkward piece set to get right off the bat, like a difficult starting set.
It looks like that faded away pretty quickly, though.
Very much so, yep. Both players with very clean, manageable boards.
A bit of a mistake, not quite fast enough tap on Rachel's side there.
But shouldn't be anything to worry about at the moment.
Yeah, with that Tritris, he's going to take it down. It's going to be much easier to access. And there we are.
And that was a great decision to use the blue there, despite it causing a hole, just because it was a immediately manageable hole. It wasn't dangerous in any way. So both players sitting at about the exact same score.
Both players with an uncomfortable texture on the surface of their board right now, though.
True. That is spicy from Ezra.
Making it work.
Yep. And
Yeah,
decides...
that was bad piece RNG on that second consecutive cookie for Ezra there.
Yep. Decides to just take the burn, and again, just to lower it, to play a little bit safer. And
Rachel, on the other hand, playing it a little risky to keep it completely clean, but it's working out.
Yep. And because of the decision from Ezra to not risk any incredibly, like, timing dependent moves. Jeez, come on, brain. The score now is, the score difference is about 1 Tritris, a little bit more than 1 Tritris in favor of Rachel.
And somehow, after a series of admittedly pretty dangerous decisions, Rachel is still maintaining perfect pace.
Yep, and Ezra has perfectly cleaned up the board and is in perfect position to do pretty much whatever she wants now. But will take a little bit of a comeback, or maybe some mistakes from Rachel for Ezra to get back in this. If both players play flawless from here on out, Rachel will take the win just because of the early lead from the mistakes from Ezra. Or maybe not mistakes, but decisions. Calculated decision making.
Both players holding really solid, keeping really low on the board right now. Not too much of note happening now for the first time in quite a while.
True, just clean, consistent, very not risky building.
Good gameplay.
Yep, just high quality gameplay. And I would love to say more, but there's really not much to say. It's just both players are calm, cool, collected, just building how you're supposed to.
They are being kind to us right now after all the excitement that they put us through.
Last game, yeah. And honestly, even the first game.
Yeah.
This, of the 3, this is definitely the safest game so far.
So far.
No absolutely massive errors from either player. Rachel still
I have not almost had a heart attack yet this game.
Rachel still at 100% Tritris, and Ezra at 86%, which is still very respectable. And that's only growing.
I have to say that was a little bit questionable. I saw on Rachel's part there, she made a yellow pencil dependency with the yellow pencil, but did not end up costing her. So that's a win.
True.
Speaking of, that's about the only time that single dependency on a piece of one type is less than ideal, because this game runs on a 7-bag RNG system. So every 7 pieces, you will see one of every piece type.
Ooh, a nice double flip or double
That was
rotation.
very good for maintaining consistency. Yeah.
from Ezra. Very impressive.
Rachel, once again, bending over backwards to keep the perfect pace that she wants.
But it's
Making
working
very,
out.
very good plays.
It's working out because does have perfect pace still. Still
Yeah.
at 100% at 69 lines. Nice. That's a great decision from Ezra.
This game just
And
continuing very good, sound decisions being made.
and back up over 90% for Ezra. So both players at a very good pace right now.
Rachel making a couple of seemingly costly mistakes, though.
Very
This
true.
might be hard to recover from.
Very true. But if we've seen anything, of course, man, one of the worst feelings I always think is when there's a piece dependency, like a perfect fit, and you get it one piece too late and you don't notice it just in time. And
that's...
I think that might be it. I don't think she can get one yet. She can't. And
that actually falls into something that I've been wanting to mention for a bit now, is that one unfortunate risk that you run of playing so close to Ezra has won this game, by the way.
Yep.
One risk of playing so close to a perfect pace for so long, especially trying so hard to keep it going, is that it can pull you out of the flow of a less than perfect game, which can make it harder to deal with, especially when at the moment that it finally breaks into an uncomfortable board, it's already high up.
True.
It has happened to me more than a few times.
Well, GG's on game 3. So
Yes,
Ezra,
very well played by both players.
now it is match point for Ezra. So
Good luck to both players whenever they are ready.
Yep. So the next seed will be 43301C. So that will be match point for Ezra in game 4.
The greed is understandable, Rachel. It happens to the best of us.
And not very often do you see the losing player have a better tritris percentage than the winning player, as we saw in that game, with 97% from Rachel to 91% for Ezra.
Okay, both players appear to be ready.
I would like to remind Ezra, count to 8 before starting again, please. That worked out perfectly the last time. So, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, tritris, and good luck to both players in game number 4. Getting into
Rachel
it here.
actually starting first this time.
Just a little bit, but it will be about a 3-second difference, but in favor of Rachel this time, which is the first time today that she's actually had a time lead.
Things are changing. What isn't changing, though, is that both players start out beautifully.
And as we say that, a little bit of holes for...
Column 9, though, that's the safest place you could ever have holes.
Absolutely. But holes nonetheless, which pulls a little bit of time away from getting tritrises, but shouldn't be that big
Rachel
of a deal.
actually briefly there had an inaccessible hole that she had to gain access to with a double and a single now. but is making it into a center well. And makes it happen.
And despite it looking a little bit weird, that's actually a very safe build on the right side.
Yeah.
Because, like you mentioned, it's in column 9, which is the perfect, or the safest column to have a hole in.
Well, I say column 9 just because I'm used to hearing that from Tetris so much, but
it's
technically it's column 7.
Yeah, it's technically column 7, yeah.
And Ezra sets up 180 within the well and makes it work. That was pretty solid.
No, oruc, trust me, bro. You didn't even know what Tritrus was a couple of minutes ago. I think we can count, okay? We know there's 10. You may not be able to see them, but real Tritrus pros know that there's 10 columns.
Personally, I think oruc absorbed our combined knowledge and now knows better than both of us.
Dang it. I hate when that happens. A little bit of dangerousness on the side of... No, dangerousness, I prefer.
Fair enough.
On the side of Rachel, pretty high with a very awkward board.
Very smart choice to go for that double there.
Yeah.
Very smart. It would be very easy to panic and go for just cleaning up the holes at the top.
Yeah, and it's not only impressive to do it, it's impressive to see it. Because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even notice it at first until she pulled it off. So, but ooh, and I think that'll be a top out. Yep. So Ezra has the lead at 161.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you have tunnel vision as a commentator when crazy stuff is already happening on one side.
Yep. So now we're again in a game of chase.
Rachel aiming for 162k.
Let's see if
ideally.
she can accomplish this one time with a less than clean board at the moment.
Less than clean, but more than enough time to make it work.
Oh, 100%. Only at 30 lines, still has all the time in the world, really, to get... And it looks like she's just gonna take it line by line, playing very safe, making sure not to... Because like we said before the game started, this is actually match point, so if Rachel... loses here and doesn't complete the catch-up, or doesn't complete the chase, that will be series over.
She is now 12,000 away. Make that 10,000.
Only 5 more lines. And I think this will do it. Not quite yet. It's the difference between pushing down a couple times, and that'll be it.
There did it. Okay, Rachel takes game 4. This is going to a game 5, viewers. Whatever the result of this next game, that will be the result of not only the match, but the tournament.
GG to both players. Very good.
Decider. 169, 169. That is a beautiful score, Rachel.
That's just glorious.
GG's on that, whatever happens.
It's just a really nice score.
It's so nice.
So nice. 4-4-C. Alright, so game number 5. If either player wants to take a break, they can do so.
Okay, Ezra's electing to take some practice.
Which is totally understandable, because I would definitely need to decompress a little bit after those very good games, honestly.
Yeah, all things considered, going to a decider in the finals is a pretty stressful situation.
100%. Just taking a little bit of time to get get your head in the game, you know?
Yeah. That's why we take the stance of just letting any player be as ready as they need to be before we start on these.
Yep. No rush.
Both to get comp maxes, that would be pretty
Yeah.
pog.
That would be awesome, except for the fact that I would pass out, probably. I would have a heart attack, I think. So, let's do it, but also, you might have to take over commentating alone.
I have been there as a commentator right off the back of a game going to a 1.8. That was in old speeds, but still.
Yeah, still. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
But with how both players are playing right now, it's certainly possible. I would say. Then again, it is the new speeds, so
Yeah, neither player has gotten to that score on the new speeds. They have on the old speeds, but not the new ones. It would be pretty cool if it were a double PB, but that might be asking a bit much.
yeah, I think both players are just worried about winning more than getting a PB at this point. But either way, like I'm sure at the same time, if they got their PB, that would most likely mean they win as well.
Yeah.
So imagine how painful it would
Also,
be to get your PB but still lose. That would suck.
I don't know how the other players are on this, but I'm the type where if I've already satisfied myself in competition, then I just do what I can to put on a good show regardless of what happens.
Yeah, and that's honestly what more people should do. If you don't get comp max, you're gonna do your quals for May right after this.
What
Well,
specifically has happened in comp a lot? A double max or a double PB, or probably double PB or a PB.
I think she's saying getting your PB and then losing. Like despite getting your PB. But maybe not.
There's a lot of candidates for that.
Yeah.
Okay,
We were talking about
Ezra
quite a few
is
things.
warm. The PB into losing. Okay.
Yep. And when your opponent has PB'd, lost when you've PB'd, yeah. I'm sure it's pretty common, especially if your PB is a little bit lower.
Yeah.
Sometimes the competitive juices just get you going. All right. Both players ready. So Ezra, this time just count to 6 instead of 8.
Wait, has Rachel confirmed ready?
No, not yet. Not quite yet.
Okay.
We
Rachel
got
has confirmed recti.
Recti, yep. All right, so the countdown is 3, 2, 1, Frytris. Good luck to both players. This is game number 5 in a best of 5.
Decider. This game is gonna be good.
Yep, the winner of this game wins the series.
Ezra gets the start first this time, only by a hair though.
Yep, only by about 3 seconds, 3 or 4 seconds, but nothing
To me,
major.
it looks like it was only about half a second.
Yeah, I think your thing is a teeny bit delayed, because I keep having to close it, but it's fine. It's nothing major. It's literally like almost exactly. Anyway, or I could be delayed as well, honestly.
Who knows?
Doesn't really matter. It's close enough. Neither of us talk
Ezra
fast enough.
with a couple of holes in column 7 and fills them.
Column 9.
Anyway, Both players maintaining 100% for the moment.
Yep.
As usual, starting beautifully. And this time, that doesn't undo itself as soon as I say it. Commentator's curse is gone, everyone.
Yay.
It doesn't exist anymore.
No more commentator's curse for anything ever again. We
Ever.
did it.
Let's go, gamers. Not very much to commentate over quite yet. Both players are playing clean, playing low, playing well.
Yep. You can definitely tell a little bit of a difference in style, though, between the two players.
Absolutely. Just the way that they stack is very different, even though both of them are very, very good.
And both of them are getting the same pieces. And it's just very interesting to see. Like, I can't even really describe it. It's not like one player is playing more jagged. Oh, maybe that's it. Yeah, it seems like Ezra tends to play with a little bit more jagged of a board, whereas Rachel seems to play with a little bit more of a flat board. Very generally.
Sloped in general.
Very generally. And that is very awkward on Ezra's side.
Oh, that was almost beautiful with the razor there by Ezra, but that not working out is pretty costly.
But should be able to get out of it. Realistically. Whereas on the side of Rachel, everything's still perfectly fine. Chillin', vibin'. Definitely some digging to do on the side of Ezra, though.
I hesitate to say it, but she might actually be able to make a center well out of this if she fills in the bottommost row. And it looks like she might be going for that, or not. Never mind. Has a bit of a toss-up between doing that and doing exactly what she did, which was bringing it back all the way to the right.
And Rachel seems to be employing the same habit as last game, where choosing to play a little riskier in favor of getting, like, keeping perfect score.
Yeah. She is taking the lead for now with her pace advantage.
Yep. But we did see that come back to bite her in the last game. Or in game 3, right? Yeah, game 3. So let's see if it does the same this game.
Back on the topic of individual playstyle, though, it actually can be very difficult to put into words the difference between individuals, but at the same time, it can actually be pretty easy once you've seen enough of a certain person's gameplay to identify it without even knowing that it's them.
Yeah, without seeing the name, yeah. Which is very interesting. Also, getting double ninjas there on the side of Rachel to create a Tritress opportunity and then immediately capitalize on it. A little bit of luck in her favor. Very nice cookie spin for Ezra there.
Rachel's still maintaining perfect pace. Has a bit of a hole in the left, but that should be pretty easy to avoid before the ninjas come, exactly like she did.
This is a tricky situation, though.
Yeah, you can see this is some of the risk-taking involved with keeping a perfect pace sometimes.
And just handles it perfectly nonetheless, I guess. That
Yeah.
was just very, very well done. And gets the back-to-back ninja drops again to set up a Tritrace and then immediately capitalize.
That was a nice little slot in for the Razor that Ezra just did there.
So, score update. 410,000 on the side of Rachel to 411,000 on the side of Ezra. But as I say that, Rachel gets another Tritris and is back in the lead. But at the moment, it's very, very close.
Yeah.
And again, Rachel maintaining perfect Tritris rate right now. But and in the meantime, Ezra is slowly getting higher and higher, just like we saw in Game 3.
Making a few mistakes and recovering from them actually can be very good for handling your own nerves, I have found. Even sometimes if you make the mistakes intentionally, just so there's a little bit less internal pressure on yourself to keep up the momentum that you already have.
Yeah. Because not only, like, a perfect game is great, but it almost adds more pressure onto the competition that doesn't necessarily need to be there. So kind of taking yourself out of perfection right away sometimes is a strategy that can be used.
And of
to-
course, that depends on the player, it depends on the time, it depends on a lot of things,
Oh,
which
absolutely.
would technically be smarter in a consistency standpoint.
Absolutely, but at the same time, like, some players, if they know they don't handle pressure very well, instead of worrying about the pressure of keeping 100% and the competition, they prioritize the competition and just kind of get rid of the idea of 100% right away. Not necessarily intentionally, but definitely they're not afraid to take a burn here and there.
Some people have even been known to do that and advocate for it while going for PBs, actually.
That's interesting. This is a awkward board for Ezra here.
And for Rachel.
Gets a sick blue pencil spin though.
Both players suffering a bit right now. Rachel still on perfect pace for now. That is just changing right now. But that was very impressive to keep it going that long. And it looks like she is going to survive the transition out of perfection.
And unlike she did in Game 3, so that's already a step up, I guess.
Yeah.
Both players
This game
definitely
is
have
actually
some
going
digging.
by a little bit faster than it feels like it is. Both players are already past 80 lines. They are already past the halfway point to higher speed.
And both players do still have some digging they need to do. But as I say that, Ezra gets right out of it and gets into Tritris position
Rachel is
and
not far behind on that.
capitalizes.
It's going to take a few burns, but not a lot of additional planning.
So the score update is 619 on Ezra to 619 for Rachel. So it is incredibly close, but with that Tritris from Ezra, she takes the lead a little bit further ahead.
One might even call this game neck and neck.
Maybe. Some might say that. I don't know if I'd go quite that far. Ezra goes for the really risky spin in there to fill a perfect dependency, but doesn't quite get it. Still should be able to manage despite kind of a glaring weakness in her stack right now.
In the meantime, Rachel's board is clean now.
Very, very clean. It's almost like the players are trading oh, that was cool. Trading the mistakes. When one makes an error, the other one is finally clean, and then vice versa.
Certainly
So
does
far.
feel that way sometimes. It looks like both players now are clean, though. -1 hole that immediately gets filled by Ezra.
Yep. and decides
Rachel electing to fill in holes instead of taking the choice to lower down the board did work out for her, but it was a little risky.
Very true. Both players just over 700,000. Now just over 730,000. Very neck and neck right now. We're about 15 lines away from transition for Ezra and about 20 lines away from transition for Rachel.
So now you change your stance on neck and neck. I see how it is.
I said some might say it. I might be one of that some. Maybe. Sometimes.
Score certainly is very close.
Very true. And
Ezra managing to fill in a column 7 hole.
9. Both players have very clean stacks right now. As I say that, has a little bit of a dependency on the side of Rachel, but gets filled nicely.
I have to say that was a very, very smart decision on Rachel's part. I think I could feel her wanting to go for the double rotation of the racer there, but then deciding that's not smart.
I saw it too.
And avoiding it.
I saw it too.
That's better self-control than me.
Yeah, same. This is looking a little bit dangerous on the side of Ezra because with one more Tritris, she will transition. So having not the perfect board right now.
Ezra, before the speed change, actually was one of the most successful players of level 29, though. So we certainly know that she is able to handle speeds like this.
True, but it does seem like she's making quite a few mistakes right off the bat. And she is in a little bit of a deficit right now, so... And I don't believe she's going to be... Yep, I think that's it. And Game 5 goes to Rachel. Congratulations.
I believe this is her first full tournament win.
I think it is. I do believe it is.
Massive congrats for that.
Congrats.
You did awesome. You're doing awesome. You can play out the rest of the game if you want.
No, keep it going. I'm not allowing you to stop. You have to max out. Your first tournament win on a max out. It has to happen.
I don't think we mentioned it, but she herself also did go to 19 speed.
Also, yes. Yep. Transitioned just after she had won, so
making some nice adjustments on the speed, actually.
Oh, that's a little bit scary though, but handles it really well.
This is terrifying.
This, I don't gonna get a line there, but I don't know. Never mind, I'm just not even gonna question. This, I'm not gonna.
I don't think this is.
Yeah.
933 though.
933 to 854. Absolutely incredible gameplay from both the players.
That was a fantastic match to watch and to commentate, and I'm sure it was also pretty cool to play.
Oh, I bet. Like, huge congratulations.
Level 19 hard, I agree.
Huge congratulations to Rachel on the win. GG's to all players involved. And phenomenal that it went to Game 5. Yeah, you finally won, Rachel. Heck yeah. GG's all around. GG's, Ezra.
Fantastically played by all players.
Absolutely.
That was a great tournament.